Welcome to my first series on Madden 17, and it's a series I'm calling Brandon Marshall's Career Draft. And basically the idea behind this is we take the base team, the one you're given, and the only good player we have, and it's not very good either, is the trainer version of Brandon Marshall that you get if you choose the Jets starting pack. We don't have Darrelle Revis on this team. Everybody is bronze apart from Brandon Marshall, and the objective of this series is to build up a very good team on Ultimate Team made up exclusively of players that Brandon Marshall has actually played with at some point in his career. Now I'll explain how we upgrade the positions in a minute, but first obviously we're not going to stick with this trainer Brandon Marshall forever. However, in order to upgrade him, we're going to have to score 10 touchdowns with the trainer Brandon Marshall in order to be able to upgrade to the main full card Brandon Marshall. As for the rest of the team, it's a little more complicated. So we upgrade the team by winning games, and how it works is every time we score one touchdown, we get to choose one new player at the end of that game. Field goals don't add anything towards being able to take new players, and what players we will take is then decided by two things. First, I will roll a virtual 20-sided dice with each position being represented by one of those numbers. Kickers and punters sharing number 20. So whatever number that dice lands on is the position we take. Then within that position we will have about 5-6 players, maybe, sometimes less, sometimes more, and they'll be ordered in overall. And the way we choose the specific player within that group is by how many points we won the game by. Obviously we only get players when we win a game. And another wrinkle is we can only take 80 plus rated players if we scored a touchdown with Brandon Marshall. So if we score 2 touchdowns and one of them with Brandon Marshall, it means we get to pick up 2 new players, only 1 player rated over 80. If we manage to score a defensive or a special teams touchdown, we're able to choose whatever position we want to choose, but the same principle still applies in terms of the number of points we win by deciding which player we take. But I can say if I think we really need a left tackle, I'll go left tackle on this one rather than leaving it up to the dice. Now Brandon Marshall has played for 4 teams: the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Bears and the Jets, and amongst those teams are some pretty good players that he's played with. Now a lot of players still in the league, but we're also up for some legends if they become available. One legend that Brandon Marshall has played with that is in the game already, Champ Bailey. Some other guys that could turn up: Rod Smith, John Lynch, Brian Dawkins, Jason Taylor, Brian Urlacher, and they're just some of the guys that could turn up. Some of them less likely than others. Some have already been in previous Ultimate versions, so we can hope they turn up. And the way they will work is on an upgrade basis, just like Brandon Marshall. So when we first unlock that player, we get the base like trainer version of them, and then we have to do certain things with them. Say it's Champ Bailey, maybe 2-3 interceptions with him to then be able to upgrade him to his full 91 overall version. The overall aim of this series is just to build the absolute best team we can with players that Brandon Marshall has played with. For now, with no special versions of the normal players, we're just going to be using all the base cards, but once like Team of the Weeks and things start coming out for players we can have, they will work on the same base as Brandon Marshall and the Legends. We have to do certain things with those players in order to upgrade them. But that's enough of explaining. The only way we unlock players is by playing. So in this episode, let's play our first game of this series. If this team ends up being really bad... Oh, that was an interception right there. Oh, come on! I can't believe that. That was an interception right there. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yes, nice tackle there. Loss of 2 yards. 3rd and 12. He's going for the field goal. If he actually goes for the field goal, this is great. And all we need to do is get a touchdown. Oh, and that was close. I'm pretty sure. Unless I didn't see what the ball did. We need to start trying to get Marshall the ball here, but for now I'll stick with the right side. Oh no, oh no. Oh, and yeah, we caught it. Oh, and they've missed me a couple of times. Oh, what? He had it in his hands. Field goals don't get us any players, but losing a game doesn't either. And that's a nice one, straight down the middle. 3 points. Not what we need. We need touchdowns scored. There were a couple of times in that last drive we should have had interceptions, and we messed them up one way or the other. Oh, and it was there again. So many tipped balls. Oh, come on, straight off his hands. That was the closest one we've had yet. Now, I'd be willing to blame my team here. They do have terribly low overalls, but it can't just be that. There to Marshall. There to Marshall. Oh, stay up, Marshall! And we're going to get the touchdown. The touchdown with Marshall, which now means if we do win the game, we get one new player and he can be over an 80 overall. We are now leading by a full score. 2 minutes left. As long as we just keep scoring every time now, it doesn't matter what he does, as he started with the ball. We get the ball back at the start of the second half as well. Oh, I thought we had another interception there. You know, I feel like maybe once we get a better team and actually have some cornerbacks and safeties, we might start getting some of these touchdowns. Go for the safe tackle there, and we're into the 2-minute warning. I think he's going to think about that screen again at some point, because it's the only thing that's really worked for him here. Absolutely nothing for him, and that's a bad call from him, and an interception. Keep accidentally going into coverages I don't want to, but they're working out so far. If accidental is the way... Oh, we didn't. Oh, we almost threw another interception there to the same guy. I kind of expected him at this point. Oh no! Oh, a player ran into each other. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Crap. Oh, and now we get one back. Oh, we could take it! Oh no, down to the 50 there, when that runs out the half. There's got to be a run here, right? Gets him behind the line, not that it's really going to do anything, because I assume he'd just go fourth down here anyway, even if we do stop him again. I'm always going to take that running back side. Oh, we stop him. I assume, yeah, he's going to go straight for it, but now we know what you're doing. Oh, and it's an interception! See if we can get anything here. We're trying to make smart decisions down here. Oh, and that's a fumble. And Steen's running all over the place with it. Alabama looking out for us there on that play. Thank you, Steen. We'll go the same play. Not entirely sure why, as it obviously went horribly wrong the last time. But we get it there, and we get the first down. Very, very nice there. Do you think we're close enough for a fade? I don't think so. We're going to try it. Now this far out, we're really looking at the tight end here rather than Marshall. But that cornerback does have inside cover. It could work out for us here. Oh, and it just gets blocked. Close. I think the tight end was probably very open there. Got to keep an eye on that tight end. Tight end is actually usually better than the outside. Tight end is usually better than the outside. And we get the touchdown. Now we're up 17-10. And not that much time left for him. If we stop a touchdown at any point here, we've pretty much won the game. With our bronze players, we've got 2 touchdowns now, meaning we get to upgrade 2 players. One of them, we get to have an over 80 overall, but that's obviously only depending on whether or not we get him then with the amount of points we win by. And I'm pretty happy staying in the formation. I don't think he's got a cover 3 beater straight off that. Oh, and he's absolutely screwed that one up. We get the interception there. And it's pretty much game over at this point. I think he knows that. We may just see a quit here. Something I didn't mention, and I'm pretty just making up right now. But I've decided, because I don't get a chance to score another touchdown, because he's quit, if the player quits on us, we get to add another player. Now, this player will be under 80 overall, but we get to add another player thanks to the quit. So thank you, sir, for quitting. Thank you for the interception, and thank you for the game. It was pretty good. I got worried at some parts there, but ended up doing all right anyway. So in that game, we scored 2 touchdowns, one by Brandon Marshall, and he quit the game. That means we add 3 new players. One can be over 80 overall. So 3 new players. Time to roll the dice to see what positions we'll get, and I'm really hoping for a running back here. That held us back in that game. Running back over everything at this point. So the first dice roll here, what are we going to get? And it's number 11, and that's a left end. So let's take a look at the left end group here of what we have available. Here are the left ends. Now we got 7 points, so we go top row through the bottom, and we go all the way through back to the number 1, so we get Stephen Payer as our first player at left end. Time for the second dice roll, the second position, number 6. That's a left tackle, not bad at all either, gonna be pretty useful. So we look at the left tackles here, only 3, so we go through all the way twice, back to Ryan Harris at number 1, so we get 66 rated left tackle. And the final dice roll, the final position we get to add for the next game, and it's number 20, that's a kicker or a punter. Now we hadn't got to use our Brandon Marshall 80 rated player yet, and if we don't get to use it this week, it doesn't carry over to next week, but as you can see here, 7 kickers and punters, so we get 87 rated Brett Kern, so our highest rated player now is the punter Brett Kern. Now we only played 1 game this week because I had to explain the rules and things. Usually we'll do at least 2 games, and I'll add all of these players to the squad for next week and come back next week to see how we get on with Brandon Marshall's career draft, getting some more players hopefully, and hopefully some better players than our best player right now, the punter.